men who pursue.
Amen,
So
right?
hard to find men who
Amen.
pursue
I
these
feel
days.
the conviction now. Yeah.
Welcome back to Faith Uncensored. Today, as you watch this, as we release this, it is 1 week from Chinese New Year. And during Chinese New Year, one of the most popular questions that get asked to young people would be, when got boyfriend when you getting married, when you gonna have baby. And today we just want to talk about one of that issue. But before that, today here with me, we have Larissa and Adrian. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Today we're going to talk about something that can potentially be a bit more sensitive, and I just want to thank you ahead of time for being so open to talk about this in a very vulnerable way. We are talking about being single. Now, both of you are single and available, right?
I share the same sentiment.
Is that an indication that there is a secret boyfriend, or that
We'll never know. Let's see until the release of this episode.
I see. Okay. But one of the things that we know that you're both millennials. Millennials are currently those in the age of 20 plus to 30 plus in this season of their lives. And according to a report released by Pew Research Center last month, that 25% of millennials are likely to never marry, and which is supposedly the highest number in all the generations of the past. Previously was maybe only 17 and growing number, and millennials would be the highest. Why do you think this is happening?
Shall I go first?
Sure.
Why do I think this is happening? I don't know, because for example, with my crowd of friends as well, most of us are still single. Or if not, they are in they probably found a boyfriend quite recently only. Few have that annoying fairy tale story where they've been together for 10 years, 20, I don't know. Yeah, but why? I don't know. Maybe we are more career oriented and we feel more whole, that we don't need another person to make us, in a lack of a better word, hold us back to think that is not such an important thing, but that doesn't mean it's my view. But that's probably the millennials' view, yeah.
Coming from my personal circle of friends, yes, I believe that one of the reasons why they might be not considering to marry, at least at this point of time, is because perhaps they find such significant purpose and wholeness from their careers or vocation. Another key reason which I have observed is we might have economic challenges. Yes, so for example, perhaps their daily wages are insufficient if they were to consider having a family and so on. So they are a bit more cautious in this area.
That's a very good point that you're making as well, because most people would just think that your people are being selfish and not really thinking about your future. But you both brought up a very good point that there is so much more factoring economically and how society has been moving as well. And millennials see that more than any generation previously. I mean, we are only 10 years apart, and I remember during our time when I was in my 20s that being in the 20s and being single was a very stressful situation, because you were already expected to be married or expected to actually get along with it. But nowadays, it's only 10 years apart, and it's so different. Nobody really talks about it as much. What would you say is the hardest part then in your generation about being single?
One of the thoughts that I occasionally have when topics about singleness or marriage comes to mind is, if let's say, since I'm also the only child, if let's say I grow to my 70s and 80s, right, assuming my parents also have gracefully passed away, who would be taking care of me? Of course, you can have all the money in the world, but as you know, physical deterioration is a real thing. So if you are alone, it can be very challenging. For myself, and also the social aspect of it, like your friends also will pass away soon enough, and then you'll be at home. Yeah.
Well, you're thinking really far. Really thinking.
Maybe overthink lah.
Yeah, but it's a very practical thought, I think. I think that's one of the thoughts that my husband and I have as well about not having children, to think about a time when you would eventually get old, sick, then who takes care of us. What about you? Do you find it hard at all?
I think I share the same sentiment as him, that being single, I guess a lot of people equate it with loneliness. So if when you come home, let's say you've got your job, it's all sorted, everything is good, you are staying in a nice place, but at the end of the day, when you come home to an empty house, and you just feel that feeling of, why would someone achieve so much, but at the end of the day, you don't have someone to come back to and tell the stories to? Of course, you have your family and your friends, right? But, it's different when you share it with someone who you love. And just to add on that, on Instagram, since you're so millennial, I saw this graph that they were doing some research on it, and how they said as you grow older, the most time you spend with someone is your partner, the person that you get married to, your children, your family and all. That graph would deteriorate as you grow older, but it increases with your partner. So that's the most important decision you make for the rest of your life, actually.
I see. So it's very similar thoughts with Adrian, and I'm just so amazed that for millennials generation, this is the thoughts that's come up with. I know that when I was still single in my 20s, I married quite late in my time, at the age of 31, I think. And at that time also, the worst thought was not these thoughts. It was more of, I'm lonely now. And also that desire of wanting to have someone, wanting a companion, wanting to feel the love and companionship now. But I'm amazed to hear that it's different now, to think about something more practical and in the future. And speaking about that, do your parents try to pressure you in any way? Aunties, maybe?
For my end, no. Probably because they find me as not a very good candidate yet.
But good, auntie, uncle, good.
Yes. I'm not sure about Larissa.
Not really. So, if they have anyone, I'll be like, sure, what's wrong with going on a date with? They would probably have already sussed the person out. So, why not? But pressure? No, I don't.
You are the youngest in 5 children, 5 girls. So, do you think that that's the possible reason that they've given up?
Not to say given up. I think because I had a conversation with my dad recently, so just telling him how men are these days, and it's quite hard. And he was like, "Oh no, so now I have to search for you also," because he was quite confident I can do it on my own.
Wow, okay. It's good to know that there's not much. Do you feel pressure from society, from what people are saying, and all the hashtag relationship goals out there?
Pressure from society, like what I said just now, because my circle of friends, we are all still single, and only recently a few started getting engaged, so you feel it a little bit.
Right.
But in terms of my family as a whole, because at that time I thought 29 was old.
Right.
Right? Until when I'm 29, I'm like, hey, it's not old. Because all my sisters got married and they were 29. So that means they were already in a relationship since 27, a few years. But here I am, 29 still, trying to find my way through. But it's pressure. Of course I would love, but
right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not really there, but I know that during my time and the groups before me, that the pressure was really real, and I really don't know if nowadays other people, maybe they are friends of yours who feel the pressure a bit more because of parental. I used to have people trying to set me up, church members even, just aunties and uncles trying to say, let me introduce you, you want to sit with this person, this is who's and who's, so much introduction to a point that you either get really angry and fed up or say, bring it on. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, and the pressure of other kind of things they try to do, weird things, from pictures to putting things in my room that hopefully brings in the guy. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of things. But I think we deal with a different tension these days, those who are single. We deal with a different tension, and it's more about how do you meet that someone then. So can I ask, are you interested in meeting someone at this point?
Yeah. Straight answer is yes.
Okay,
I'm ready to settle down and just, because I feel, even though how generations are so different, right? Like the previous generation, you don't have to wait to have a house. You don't have to like wait that you have enough money because you work through it together.
Right.
But our generation is all about, oh, we need a house first. We need a car. We need this. We need that. Okay, now we can get married. You know, but I don't feel that it has to be like, I feel like it's a journey that you go together.
Right.
And right now, like, I feel I'm okay and I want to be with someone. Like,
To be
I'm
on
ready,
that journey, to
yeah.
get on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Adrian?
Okay, allow me to share my position.
Sure.
Yes, counsel.
Yes. At the moment, I'm open to such relationships. However, I'm exercising caution, mainly because in my family circle, like relatives, we have quite a number of occurrences where, like maybe my relative married someone and then the partner ran away, and then left the children but no one to take care, and all those kind of subsequent family issues coming about. With these things in mind, it really makes me want to be much more thoughtful in a sense before I ever consider of engaging deeper in a more serious relationship. Yeah,
I
because
see.
for me, if I am going to pursue someone, it's for a long-term view. So I'm not too interested in those short-term flings, if any.
Right. Thank you for bringing up that very real point. The idea that a lot of people are more, perhaps even more cautious nowadays because we've seen so many marriage broken down, broken families than ever before. More people come from broken homes or some sort of troubled homes than maybe many other generations before. And do you think that these are also reasons at the back of someone's mind to be cautious, build your own life first?
Yes, Larissa was sharing just now that there are some people that would think that, okay, I need to get a house first, I need
To be more
settle.
secure.
Yeah, and I think maybe unfortunately I kind of enter in that particular category. Yeah, because of what I've seen already, like people just like having children, but then their financial stability is just shaky. And then the children have to, their education is disturbed. They themselves are being challenged very greatly. So
which causes more strain on the marriage and family. And
so ideally, I would, if possible, I would try to get some solid ground in at least the financial aspect, especially before I ever consider tying the knot. Yeah.
well, thank you for sharing these thoughts. I think it's very helpful for those who are listening. I hope that we can continue to have conversations like this. So the other question we'll talk about, like you said, yes, you are looking for someone. Yes, you're open to meeting people. How then shall we meet people? How are we gonna put ourselves out there? Because honestly, there is this whole tension out there, right? Where that some believe that you should then just go out there and begin to meet people, go out there and meet people. Or the other aspect of, no, we should learn to be contented, especially, we should learn to be contented in God and just wait for Him and just remain where we are. What do you think about this?
Let's be honest, a guy is not just going to drop from heaven if we are not going to be doing anything about it. This is my view. I mean, you can have a view of your own, but in terms of how we put ourselves out there, I know there are dating apps, but personally, I feel like, I've been on dating apps, but it's all so, I suddenly fall into that category of being so, I don't know if it's materialistic when it's all about the looks. So because you're just swiping people, right? I don't even sometimes read. I'm just seeing whether, physical attraction is important for me. If I'm not physically attracted to you, then it's hard for me. So everything is just by a swipe, and then you get bored. So what I thought and how I could do it is find an activity I like, which is hiking. I like hiking. So I've joined a lot of groups on hiking, Facebook, church people or whatever, and I start hiking with them. Then I'm growing my friends.
Right.
And then from there, we will probably grow. And they, like this one uncle who I'm hiking with, he's so amazing. He knows I'm also looking. Then he was like, okay, now I know I will match the groups up properly. So then you can expand your circle of friends. So that's for me, find a community that you are interested in, and then from there you meet people with. Sometimes we have the expectation I'm going to join this just to meet someone, but maybe tone that down, like just have fun.
Yes, just have fun. So just go out and have more social groups and just
Yeah.
have fun and,
Yeah.
and trust that that itself will, eventually meet someone
Yeah.
along the way. How about you?
Yeah. Speaking of potential dating strategies, I'm. If people ask me, Adrian, what's your thoughts on the online dating scene or like Tinder, for example? I will say it's okay, but don't consider whatever that is on Tinder as the first and last thing about that person. Make that as maybe just an opener for a future face-to-face date,
Right.
or now Zoom dates. And then from there, get to know the person like any other relationship would unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're speaking about strategies, right?
You can
lost
speak
track,
about
lost track.
strategies.
What's the question again?
We also talk about because the other view a lot of people hold and honestly a lot of good Christian actually holds this view of we need to learn to be contented, don't be desperate, learn to rest yourself in God and and trust that God will bring the right person. But that has also sparked another movement, especially by boundless.org and other related groups, Christian groups that actually talks about we can't just do nothing. We can't just be contented, which is what's happening to a lot of Christian singles, and that's why nothing's happening. But the movement is all about encouraging Christian men to pursue the girls,
Praise
to
the
go
good Lord.
out there, and actually chase somebody, to do that work of chasing, don't just wait. And then it also has a lot of tips about how do you do that, which I found really interesting, which we'll put the links down somewhere so you can also read if you want to.
Yes, men who pursue. Oh,
Amen,
so hard
right?
to find men who
Amen.
pursue
I
these
feel the conviction now. Yeah.
days. Adrian, you better know what to do. You need to pursue.
Yeah, but yeah.
Right.
Speaking of that, the strategy, not to say strategy, your approach in, entering into groups that are of similar interest to you, like hiking. I think is one very good organic way to get to know people, and
Yeah.
from there, who knows, maybe
Yeah, exactly.
something can grow from that. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
I also
It's a
find
healthy way.
yeah. So I will also probably do the same thing, like those similar interest groups, and then move on from there.
Yeah, healthy ways of meeting people. But at the same time, we also understand that marriage is not our goal in life, right? Because for a lot of people, marriage seems to be the epitome of success. Like if you get married, then that's it. You've reached. But we've also seen how marriage can have a very destructive manner if you are not careful. And so marriage shouldn't be our goal, and we don't need to feel incomplete if we don't get married. We need to learn to build ourselves as a whole person. You know that saying where they say you meet your other half? And I've always thought that that's quite a wrong illustration, because it implies that we are only half, right? But we are not. We are actually two whole persons meeting each other. And we should not be trying to meet half, but meet another whole person. And thank you so much for being here to talk about this. And as our society is becoming more open, even to talk about this issue, I'm so glad to know that there are so many social groups and people aware of helping one another, but in the same way, not in a desperate manner. Yeah, because we also know that we have to build ourselves as a person, two healthy persons coming together and make it better. But the other thing we want to add just as we close is to say it is okay to desire to marry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I concur.
It's okay to desire to date, to want to have someone. There may be people who will tell you, no, you shouldn't have such desires. If it comes, it comes. But honestly, like we know, it is okay to admit that we have desires. We want to get married, and that's just a desire that God has put in our hearts, and that's okay. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Any last words you want to say to our viewers?
Adrian, you go first.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, maybe as a final word for all the young eligible singles out there, the yes people, including myself, let's do what we can to prepare ourselves first, whether it's mentally, our communication skills, our daily habits, and so on, so that whenever we start engaging in a long-term relationship, we would be able to add the most, we will be able to maximize the value towards our other partner. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, what he said. No, I mean, just be patient, like, because I also believe like God will send the right people at the right time, and it doesn't have to be the person, but the person's friend. You know, it's all about just being happy where you are, meet people, be with a community, and you just never know. You know, don't be at home, don't be sulky, don't watch sappy romantic movies because it will make you more sad. You know, instead like be around with friends. You know, and that will really change a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are promoting healthy singlehood, as well as the ability to say if you don't want, it's also okay. You want, also okay. Let's just be healthy people, single, dating, or married.
Fighty, yeah.
Thank you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe our channel. See you in the next episode.